All right, everybody. This is
my bad. I wasn't expecting.
I thought we were going to introduce her. I was leaving the act.
Yeah,
I'm going
to do that. I'm going to do that.
Said all right, everyone.
Like, that's so attention. That's an attention getter.
Welcome, everybody, to the director's commentary of Guiding Light. I am your host, the writer, the director, and the main star of Guiding Light, Quincy Ross. I mean, you guys probably already know that, though. I mean, this is on my YouTube channel, but I'm just trying to be formal here. With me to my left is
Corbin Grogan. I was the assistant director and videographer of the film.
You were also the
I also mixed the audio.
audio engineer, mixing engineer.
I'm Yantes Jarrell. I was the assistant. I helped record, and I just assisted where I was needed.
You made that sound so sad. I assisted when I was needed.
I mean, I helped out, right?
No.
None of the shots I did were used in the film. I mean,
they were not.
I needed to practice acting in the
practice.
elements. I needed to practice acting in the elements, though, for real, because it did get very cold on some of the times when we were filming this. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But we'll get further. We'll dive further into that later.
I was wondering, like, when you was gonna do, like, where my clothes at.
Where my clothes at?
Yeah. So what? I'm like, where is the scene? I didn't do that. Not get used.
No, none of it.
Then it's like you got reshot. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I got reshot. We were out because when we were in Mexico Beach, I was just like, let's just stay consistent here.
Yeah, the whole time. Anytime it's orange, it's actually in Mexico Beach.
Yeah.
Over spring break, he shot it. It wasn't in Pensacola.
Speaking of,
it looked like two different beaches. That was
yeah. So speaking of, we can actually get into that in the very beginning. Let's hit play, and let's just get right into that.
So what is this eerie, like, kind of?
Yeah. So this is Mexico Beach, like we just said. What did you just say, Taz?
Oh, and so it's like for a little like later when you realize if you're lost. I was like, I kind of like that you went with like the eerie kind of tone for it.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that, man. I mean, that was kind of like the whole goal. I was trying to, with the soundtrack, I was trying to make a more happy vibe near the beginning of that scene when I'm like walking away in the water in part one. But I accidentally, well, I didn't accidentally, but I don't know, I got really into the minor chords and I was just like, okay, let's just kind of ride this pocket and just go full on eerie. So it starts off like going up the C scale. You know, C major is like easily the most happiest, most jolly fucking scale there is in music. And then I kind of just messed around with minor chords until I got what I wanted. Whatever.
So I see you replaced that shot. Remember we talked about like you was gonna like have the camera in the bushes and shit?
Yeah. The
So
dunes weren't as high.
No, I'm saying, is this what this is supposed to be? Like a replacement for that?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Originally, I was supposed to be a lot higher in the dunes off into the distance. But I found that shot, and little did you know, this is like the first did you know, literally right here, right on the outside the frame on the right side, there's a whole family right there. So again, it's just,
yeah, I was kind of wondering, because I'm like, there was literally no one in the home. Like, that was really good.
Do you want to point out some other stuff here?
we can get to them.
Do you want to point out some other stuff in this frame?
What else is in this frame?
That's a volleyball net.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
wouldn't unless you were there. Yeah, that's a volleyball net. We were literally shooting. This is all in Mexico Beach, so this is actually the ramp to get off of the parking
Was
lot.
the boat at Mexico Beach or was that at Pensacola?
No, that was all Pensacola. This is all Mexico Beach. This is when we were in spring break. But yeah, that's a volleyball net we were literally playing on earlier that day.
Yeah, literally. That'll maybe be in the vlog when that comes out. And this little brown shit in the bottom right corner, that is the other pair of cargo pants or cargo shorts that I wore for the rest of the film.
Okay.
Because, I'm changing out of them. I should have put them a little bit closer in the sand
I
around.
honestly thought it was a rock.
Yeah, that's why I thought I should have moved it.
Pointed out, like, now I can't unsee it. I now know that's a volleyball net in the bag, and I now know that those are a pair of shorts. Instead of a rock and just random like sticks sticking out.
Well, I mean, shout out my phone for, focusing on the fucking grass so well.
Yeah.
This shot, we got this in one take.
Yep.
I mean,
And right here, I'm doing a guerrilla style videoing. I've got the tripod in one hand, and my dog is actually in my other hand right now. because
Yeah,
Pearl was here, and she couldn't let Quincy sit here without wanting to get up in his lap, and we had nowhere else to put her, so I had to hold her in my right arm while filming with my left.
I'm glad she wasn't like grunting a lot like how she usually does.
She's pretty well behaved when I gave her a little stern talking to, like, you gotta be quiet.
Oh, actually, if you pay attention, if you look, let me go back like 5 seconds. Because there's a little detail. If you look, yeah, that's perfect frame. Look at my shorts. You can see the wet seam. You can see it right there.
Pissed yourself?
No, I couldn't dry the clothes in time in the dryer because they were dirty from the last time we were filming. Yeah, so they're wet.
Clothes are. I fucking hate wet clothes, especially wet socks.
Yeah, the shirt's wet too. The shirt is very damp right now.
That's funny.
Again, another little detail no one would notice unless I said it.
It was a lot less cold this day, though, so it wasn't.
Yeah. So I wasn't like suffering or anything. And I really just needed to focus.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of the ball joke?
Oh my god. I should have just put my hand in the way for every other shot. The moment I thought of this, I was like, oh my god, this is like so much easier. So I can actually think about what I'm saying.
That's a good question, actually.
So like right here, it's like I know because you said like this is where all the exposition is. It was like
No, not yet.
Oh, so it's not here.
No.
It's like later at the end of this.
Well, what question do you have? Because you might have a question that
Now this I actually thought was hilarious.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But we'll get to that. We'll get to this shit right here. But what was your question?
It was like when you were talking to the son, right? It was like it seemed like a real one-sided conversation. So like I'm hearing what you're saying, but it's like I didn't know like this like that's like are you talking to yourself?
I'm repeating what he's saying to me.
Okay.
I literally say, after I say, I understand why I come here, but I don't understand why I'm here today. He says, yeah. I say, yeah. I remember the day we first met because he asked me.
Yeah, you gotta use context clues. You know?
Yeah, you gotta think.
It's like Chewbacca and Han Solo. Like, we don't know what Chewie's saying, but Han Solo kind of alludes to what he's saying.
And then I say, that's a really good question. How did I feel during that day? And then I do the
Literally
line.
repeats like half of the stuff.
So once again, I'm saying there is no excuse to not understand what's going on in this movie.
Okay. Now right here though, I will say that it was a really nice transition. Did I think it was funny? Yeah, because I wasn't expecting it, but
Yeah.
it is a really good transition.
This shot took way too many takes.
Oh no, I know. That water was fucking your ass
Yeah.
up. Backshots was going crazy when you looked down.
Oh yeah,
Did you see the bloopers for that?
No.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be in the vlog.
It was so funny. He was just rocking him around. So we got the tripod set up.
I knew he was gonna get rocked around.
Yeah.
I knew it.
So what it was we had the tripod set up in the water above him, and I got the camera pointed down. I'm trying to hold it right, and it's a yellow flag, but it just got done raining. Or no, it was fixing to rain, so the waves were kicking up more than, so it probably was closer to a red flag.
Yeah.
And so the whole time, his feet are in between one of the legs of the tripod. So anytime a wave comes in, he couldn't hold himself like even a second. So anytime like a small wave, he would just kick the tripod like almost completely over.
Yeah. So we had to keep doing it, and I was trying to wait for like a big wave to come and hit me. You know what I'm saying? So that took a lot of patience and timing, and then we finally got this good wave.
It wasn't even waiting for the wave. It was waiting for a wave that he could stay in frame.
Yeah.
There was one wave that knocked him like 12 feet ahead, like forward. It was so funny. And I'm like, dude, can you stay in frame? And he got mad at me. I was like, and then he tried to resituate, and I was like, to the left. And he's like, just tell me where to go.
This thing was tired.
I was fucking pissed.
I was like, this is.
I was so pissed, man. I just wanted to get the shot. We finally got it, though. We finally got it. And the moment I realized this was it, I was like, that's why I low-key laid down at the end. I was like, thank God we got it.
I will say this shot right here is really good. Like the way that this is framed and the way it looks, it's weird. Like this legitimately looks movie quality.
Thank you. Corbin didn't want to get this close.
Whatever, bro. It was the waves were kicking up, and I was squatting in front of you. It was gorilla shot. Again, don't try to blame that on me. I'm not gonna say, and all the shots all look good because of me. You only told me some basic stuff. I got the shot. That's me squatting. Look how still that shot is.
Good shit. Okay, we can finally get to the soundtrack.
Oh, and this shot was my idea also.
100%.
This man hadn't written a wide shot in the whole dang movie, bro. And I was like, we gotta at least get one. And he was still adverse to it. And then he saw it and he was like, this is actually pretty hard. The whole time he was like, if I don't like it, I'll get something else. We didn't get anything else. You know what I mean? This was the shot.
So like for a poster, I would use something like this. Like you look lost as fuck.
Thing is, I'm trying to hide the boat. I didn't want people to see the boat yet. Because I didn't want anyone getting any
you just drop
ideas.
out the boat.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think the material that I provided was good enough. I sent you more
Not like
stills
that.
if you want to make more posters, by the way.
I said, if not that, then like one of those, like the pictures we took with me and you were at the beach, and you had the sun behind you.
Yeah.
I said one of those.
We used a couple of those as well. But for the first song, the little intro song that I did, that's just all synthesizer with a little reverb, and it's heavily inspired by Joe Pera. I don't know if anyone that's listening watches like Joe Pera Speaks to You or whatever that show's called on Adult Swim, the Joe Pera Show, whatever you want to call it. I was watching a lot of Joe Pera before we started filming and when I was writing the movie, and I just really enjoyed like his ambience in his show. Obviously, he doesn't use as much like a lot of synthesizer, but he uses a lot of acoustic guitar, and I just kind of, I don't know, I caught the vibe. And Aphex Twin, I got to shout out Corbin for putting me on Aphex Twin. I kind of got some inspiration from them as well.
Yeah, true king of ambience.
Seriously. Half of the TikTok sounds that are popping right now are Aphex Twin songs.
Yeah, what's that song called? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Alberto
either.
Balsam or something like that.
So, yeah. Something with an A. But Joe Pera and Aphex Twin kind of helped me think of that. And August Rush. The very corny Freddie Highmore movie with Robin Williams in it, God rest his soul. The little jingle that you hear at the end, that's kind of like a spin-off of the jingle in August Rush, which is where the fuck? It's something in C major. I went with that just because I like movies that have a very consistent soundtrack where you hear like a little jingle or something and it's kind of like a sign of major change happening in the movie, or just like something unique is about to happen. It's very satisfying, and I just wanted to kind of add that element to my movie as well. And I thought of that melody, the little jingle, I guess you could call it. I thought of that like many months ago, before I even thought about writing a movie, before I even thought about I don't even think I was doing YouTube yet when I wrote it down. Like, it just kind of came to me one night, and I was like, I just wrote down the notes,
So you said
like
months.
D5, C4 in my notepad. What'd you say, Tez?
I was like, you saying months? Like, how long did you actually think? Like, how long ago did you actually plan on making this movie?
So, I started writing the script in January. At least that's what it says. January 2023. At least that's what it says on my Google Doc. But I thought about Guiding Light probably like in November. I think the first thought of the movie came to me in November when I was spending Thanksgiving break at Corbin's house. I think that's like the first time the thought kind of came to me, and the first couple of shots that kind of entered my mind.
So like, were you originally like doing this for the the film festival thing, or were you just doing this like or like initially it was like supposed to be like a passion project or something?
I think originally it was supposed to be a passion project, but then when I got the announcement for the film festival, I immediately just went double time on it, because I was like, I need to get this out. I need to show this at the film festival. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but Plan B is underway, so I think I'm gonna be just fine, as long as I can. I gotta get this redub done before April 4th. We have plenty of time before that, and we'll see how everyone feels about it. I mean, this is being recorded on the 25th of March, so maybe people liked it, maybe people hated it, maybe maybe I get a lot of hugs after the show. Maybe people will start leaving halfway through the movie. I have no idea. Maybe no one shows up.
You never know.
Regardless, I'm gonna premiere this fucking movie on the 4th, and I just hope, and I'm gonna record it happening. Whatever happens, happens. It'll be in the vlog. It'll be part of history on the internet. So, I'm not gonna lie to you. If you look closely, there's people in the background on this shot.
Really?
Yeah. I was literally watching this earlier today. Just because I was just kind of thinking to myself, like, did we really film this whole movie without seeing a single person in the background? No. We did not.
Where?
Look closely. Ah,
Oh
shit.
shit.
Right? All that right there, that's people.
You sure?
No, it isn't.
I swear to God it is. I'm pretty sure that's people
No,
right
there was
there.
no people down there, dude.
Are you sure? You're sure that's not a person right there?
Yeah, those are those little plants.
No, this little white dot and this little black dot. I think those are people.
I don't know, cause I don't, cause this was.
This was before it rained.
Yeah.
So there could have been people right there. That's literally...
I mean, that's microscopic.
Yeah. That's like 12 pixels of people right there.
If that even is, though, that could have been something else.
Yeah, it definitely could have. But other than that, like, there's
Are you
no
sure
cars.
That's not the sign?
I don't know.
Remember the sign that says like keep off the bird nesting area?
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't know. Maybe.
Because it is very square for a person.
Yeah. I'm just glad we were able to get these shots without cars coming behind.
Well, anytime a car would, I mean, it's a pretty desolate road. So anytime a car was coming, I would stop recording and let you know.
Yeah. Which is just great. Filming this in 4x3 also definitely helped out with that. Less margin for error. All that, no cars. Just luck.
So you said this is supposed to be another like world or something, right?
What'd you say?
You said this is supposed to be in like another world or something, right?
Yeah, so this is supposed to be the Sun Realm. And it's a world that you go to when you find yourself with quote unquote pain in your heart. Pain in your heart can just mean there's some sort of conflict in your life that is just affecting you emotionally in whatever, in some capacity. Whether that's something you've done to yourself or something someone has done to you. You come here, you speak to the sun. He helps you, or I'll say they. I'm not going to assign a gender, but the sun, helps you talk through your problem, and identify some sort of solution. He gives you like a little one-liner, or a haiku, or whatever, and then you leave. You go back into the water, and then you leave, because that's how you enter. You wash up on shore. Now, the reason why I wash up on shore here is because this is the very first time I've ever been here, which is why I'm freaking the hell out. You remember every time you come. It's not like your memory is wiped and every time is the first time. And I'm not the only person that comes here. Hence why there's a bunch of footprints here.
Okay. This man running like a wide receiver for
Kinda. I pulled up my pants like crazy because there was like a lot of sand. I don't think I took out all the sand in my pockets before I filmed this shot, so I had to really like hike my shit up. I wish I didn't have to do that, but at the same time, I didn't feel like filming this shot again, so I just lived with it.
I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad.
So you actually got the trip there, right?
No, he did not mean to trip there. Originally, he tripped, so he had ran around the boat. There's two different shots, obviously. He ran around the boat, and he falls on accident. And so I come around the boat with the camera. I was like, "Did you fall?" And he goes, "Perhaps." So he's covered in sand, and then he was like, the fall actually makes sense. And so then the next shot, he actually did fall on purpose when we switched angles.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, the fall seems scripted. That's what I was like. Did you actually mean to fall? Or
The
was-
first time he didn't
Yeah,
fall.
I wish,
it would've
bro.
been
I
good.
wish we caught that first fall on camera because it was
I
real.
don't know though. I mean, it
Sure
probably
you wanted to
looked-
catch that first
Yeah, I
fall?
was gonna say.
Yeah,
If you were ashamed to admit that you fell, I'm pretty sure you didn't want that to be on
bro. If we had a multi-camera setup, I would have just kept it moving.
Right, it was an ugly fall too. You went face first into the sand or some shit.
He was,
No.
no, but he was covered in sand, like
From head to toe.
Yeah,
Man, tripped over a sand dune for real.
Yeah, no, I was definitely fucked up. There's a big ass line in the sand, like right where my feet is, and I missed the mark like 4 times.
yeah. So what he was supposed to do was run into frame. Is this where you ran into frame?
Yeah,
Yeah. So he was supposed to run into frame, and we had put marks down, and literally this shot, he would run in and then didn't stop on time like 6 times. So he would just completely go out frame and then start talking. I'd be like, nope, you missed it again.
yep.
It was really funny.
That's why, like, I knew I was gonna mess up some of these shots a couple of times, so I just knew, like, the moment I get it, I just need to stay in character and focus and just try to, like, really lock the fuck in. Really,
I was
lock
trying
the
to do
fuck
like a 1-footed plant and would almost fall over.
in. Yeah. And here he is, the sun. He's here. He's present. He's scaring the shit out of me. Cue the frequency.
thought I could run from you. But how could I run from the sun?
I'm not yelling there.
Yeah, he had done
That
like
was
a
a fake
little,
yell.
like a little screech, and then he didn't like the way it looked, so he just faked yelled.
Yep.
The first screech was really funny.
The color grading here is amazing. I shout out Ozark for like ass crack. I mean, shout out Ozark for for having a great blue color grading for me to copy.
So, would you say like it's speaking like the sun, like right? Is this like all like in here? Type
Yeah,
shit?
he's speaking to me. He's speaking to me telepathically.
Okay.
Originally in the script, the line is, "I thought I could run for you, but how could I run from something that speaks to me telepathically?" And I just thought that
That's
doesn't
such a
work.
bad line.
Yeah, that's really ass.
That is a horrible
See,
line.
for a second, I thought you were gonna like use like the fucked up kind of audio with the waves as an excuse, like this is the language of the sun.
If the
So like it sounds distorted, but only you can really understand it.
You
Or, like,
know-
we see the subtitles so we can understand it as well.
if the wind wasn't so bad, maybe and if you had told me that before I was finished editing, I probably would have done some shit like that. I probably would have, but yeah, no, we couldn't do that. But we got the boat.
The boat's yeah, that boat's
The
hard.
boat.
I ain't gonna lie, this actually, I can see you didn't want to tease the boat.
Yeah,
I don't say this could have been good too, like minus the subtitles.
for sure, but
Speaking of the boat, though, so this boat,
Is it like abandoned or some shit?
yeah. So we were walking along trying to find another place to film, and we saw the boat in the distance, and we both walked over to it. It was a boat that was abandoned at some point, or it looked like it sunk because all the guy's stuff was still in it. Like there was like food and crap in it still, and that orange piece of paper right there was it's a ticket that's saying that the city needs the guy to move it, and so it had been abandoned for.
So it just washed up on shore.
Yeah, so it had. I guess it was sunk and then it washed up on shore, but it had been abandoned by this point for like 2 months.
yeah.
And like all this stuff on the boat was like that when we got there. So you can see around the edge, those are like LED party lights.
Oh.
Yeah. And so this was like he sunk it is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Homeboy was chilling.
Remember earlier when I knock on a window?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a window. I think I just knocked on a random fucking square, but I just kept it in.
'Cause I was like, yeah, when you knocked on the window, I was like, in my mind, like, is this a yacht or something? Like, what the fuck is this?
No,
Then, like,
you can go down in the boat. That's what I'm talking about. No, that is a window. That's a window.
It was?
Yeah, so this is like a normal boat. It's not a yacht, but you can go down in it. So like there was like a whole like bed and stuff in the bed or in there. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
that is a
boat.
window.
I mean, that's a window. Yeah. So there was like a whole bed and stuff and like chairs and stuff in there. So that where he's looking in, you can actually go in and like there was a bunch of abandoned like stuff. Like there was some drawers in there too. Like there was some underwear the guy had left and like a bunch of like beer cans and like unopened food. So I mean, he definitely didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah. I think he had a TV in here too, because there's RCA cable right there.
Yeah, there's no telling what didn't end up on shore. And if you on the other side, it's got an Alabama boat registry, so it could have been some tourist that brought his boat down here and wasn't really set up for getting in the ocean.
Yeah, that man really fucked himself over.
Yeah, you can see it right there. That's the Alabama.